My name is David Mobers. I'm product manager SDWAN at Proximus. I'm here today with Steven de Mot. Oh, is everything okay with the headset? Everyone okay? With Steven de Mot, OT business developer at Fortinet. Steven will in a moment explain how you can leverage SASE to secure your OT network. But first, let me do a small recap about SD-WAN. So, first a bit of today's topic. We have SD-WAN, software-defined area networks. So SD-WAN is actually like the smart GPS for your internet traffic. It helps data finding the best route, the best and fastest route between your location. Then we have OT, main topic of today, operational technology. OT is like the nervous system of your industrial sites, controlling and connecting your equipments and machines to be sure that they run smoothly and safely. And of course, big buzzword, the secure access service, SASE. SASE is like the security guard for internet. SASE keeps your data safe between your users and your application, no matter where they are. So, SASE is the future of evolution of the network, but SD-WAN has a big part in the SASE. So the first step, what we need to do, is migrate your traditional networks towards SD-WAN. You will then immediately benefit from the fact that you will be able to use multiple connectivity types, having a central management and monitoring platform, and of course, all known, the traffic steering who will increase the user experience on your business application. Then on your SD-WAN, you can activate your local breakout so that on each branch site, so that your local breakouts are no longer dependent on the bandwidth of your central breakout. Also there, again, a better user experience. Then on those local breakouts, we activate the security. The same security you have currently on your central breakout will be applied simultaneously on all your sites, thanks to the central management, so that all your sites are securely connected to the internet. And the last touch, that's what we have here, is that we are adding cloud security, so we have the full SASE approach. So, let's do a small recap about the benefits of SD-WAN. You have increased network performance, how this will be achieved. Thanks to the traffic steering, your business application will be prioritized. You will gain enhanced security. All your local sites will be secured as secure as your current legacy central breakout. So there is no need to compromise when you're moving to SD-WAN. You have the simplified management, so you have a central management and monitoring platform. And of course, the thing we like to say, cost savings. By being able to use multiple connectivity types, you will be able to choose the best fit for connectivity on each branch site. So hopefully, everyone already heard this once. Normally, if you are talking about SD-WAN, this is something you hear a lot. But here the main key is, how is Proximus addressing this? First, we are offering a renting managed service model. This means that Proximus takes care of the following aspects: the hardware lifecycle, the license, the patch management, the support, all this in one monthly fee. So with this, your IT teams can keep focusing on your internal project, but while maintaining visibility on the solution. Also, we have a one-stop shop. This means SD-WAN solution can be supplemented with additional product solutions. For example, LAN, Wi-Fi, voice, security, you can add it on top without any problem. Of course, we have also our professional services. The professional services will be there before your migration towards SD-WAN to assess your network, during the migration to assist, and after the migration, help you optimizing your network. And of course, our security operational center can be used to secure proactively your network. So now, this was the part for SD-WAN on managed service model. Now let Steve take over and explain how we can leverage SASE on our OT.
Thanks, David. So, indeed, I will be explaining two things. First, operational technology security and SASE, and how the two are linked together. So, if we look at the title says cyber physical systems. That's actually the term that Gartner uses for OT technology. And where does this come from? Actually, when we traditionally look at OT systems, you think of industrial control system. You think of pumps and sensors, the traditional control systems. But if you think of what's happening in the market, you see also very interesting, innovative things going on. Think, for example, about the robo-taxi project. I don't know if you've seen it. I believe it's in San Francisco. It's also a cyber physical system. It's a control system, but it interacts with the cloud. You have a local part of it. You have the technology behind it. So that's why it's called cyber physical systems these days. That's basically the next step in OT technology. Now, where do you find OT technology? You have two pillars, you have two columns here, the essential and important entities. We all know them from NIS2. So you can imagine that a lot of these sectors have already have operational technology in place. The obvious ones: energy management, water utilities, manufacturing. Those are the ones that you think of when you think about operational technologies. But let's not forget that a lot of companies have smaller parts of it as well. Think of, for example, digital infrastructures. If you have a data center and you have no cooling, then you also have a problem. So definitely there's a lot of supporting services that also make use of operational technology. Now, what are some of the evolutions that we see in the OT market? So first of all, there's a heavy amount of automation, of course. That's been happening for a long time. We see innovative technologies being used. We have infrastructure, the IIoT projects, for example. We have 5G technologies, interconnecting devices, and we see definitely some interesting things. Work from anywhere. It's also applicable in the OT world. And one hot topic, I would say, in the market for us is reliance on OEMs and system integrators. So if you have a contract to maintain your environment, you need to give them access to your environment, and this can cause problems. I mean, you have to do it in a secure way. So, looking a bit further in what's happening in the market, we do regular research. This was together with the SANS Institute that we work a lot with to have our solutions certified and mapped to frameworks and standards. If we look at what they have been researching recently, is one of the main findings was actually around cloud security, a lot of cloud adoption. We see a lot of OT companies adopting cloud technologies, and for very good business reasons again. So they are looking into remote monitoring. They've deployed sensors, they take all this data from the sensors, they put it in a platform, usually Azure AWS. There it gets treated, and then it's being used to increase the efficiency, the operational efficiency of the business processes. That's really something that's happening a lot in the market, and it's opening up a whole new world for these OT environments. Other use cases, data storage, and also, what I already said, remote services. You need remote access for your suppliers, and you need some kind of third-party management system. Now, what do we see in terms of threats? If you look at security, we see that most of the attacks that happen in OT environment, they still come from IT. They're a happy accident for the hacker. They've breached your IT environment because it's not properly segmented. It just flows over into the OT environment. We see that as almost half of the attacks as a threat vector. And then again, remote services, the attack surface that we've opened. Third point, engineering workstations. Engineering workstations are basically IT systems typically that are used on the shop floor to control a lot of devices. They are not easy to patch, but on the other hand, they have a lot of control. They have a lot of access. They have admin access on a lot of things. So they are very, very dangerous machines to secure, and we really need to think of them as well. And after all this bad news, let's say, let's give you some good news. I think what we are seeing a lot also here in the local market is that CISOs are really taking cybersecurity seriously. OT security becomes part of the CISO's responsibility. We see KPIs entering the boardroom really around OT security. And I believe that's really a positive thing, because if you give your OT cybersecurity in the hands of a CISO, he's probably going to use a standard, a framework, something that covers your security end to end and doesn't just look at a point technology to solve one particular problem that's burning right now, but they look at it from a broader perspective, let's say. And that's also how we personally, or how we as a company, let's say, at Fortinet address cybersecurity. And that leads nicely into my next slide. How does Fortinet really address OT security? We do it by building a platform. If you know Fortinet, you know that we like building platforms. We've been doing it since the beginning. Our vision is to have something that's broad, that can cover the whole spectrum, that's integrated, where you have different solutions talking to each other, exchanging information about threats, events, and to automate your response. And that really helps you as a customer to respond quicker, to detect quicker, and to basically be on top of what's happening. So what are the main pillars of the OT-specific platform that we've built? First of all, the red column, it's about secure networking. And that's really the foundation of every OT project. You need to have some kind of segmentation between IT and OT. You need further segmentation laterally inside your OT environment, and you do that by implementing firewalls, obviously. And we also provide the switching technology, and Wi-Fi, actually. And on top of that, even extender technology. If you want to use 5G, 4G connectivity, you can just use that as an additional plug-in, let's say, an additional device that you can connect with the rest of our secure networking equipment. And that's really what we are very, very strong at. We can provide this segmentation, so the secured networking. The second pillar, Unified SASE, topic of today, third topic of today, I should say. So Unified SASE, what do we talk about here? We talk about authenticating users, devices, in the case of OT, and doing that also by adding cloud-delivered capabilities on top of that. So at the moment, you can look at it as how should I explain? You have zero trust network access, and we can deliver that basically, as David also said, from wherever your devices are, wherever your users are, and wherever your applications are. The third pillar, I'll go a bit deeper after this on SASE. The third pillar is security operations. Security operations means basically how you manage all of the applications, all the different security controls that you have in place, how you configure them, how you use them for detection purposes, where your events are centralized, and also how you respond to them. So those three things are basically what's in our security operations pillar. And we have some very interesting technology there. I won't go too deep into products, but we have some very interesting products there to do very early detection in the attack phase. On top of all these three pillars, we have what's in green there. That's really what we are very proud of. It's our security services. It's FortiGuard, we call it. Security services, in this case, specifically made to secure OT systems. What does that mean? It means we understand protocols. We understand IEC 104. We understand Modbus. We understand Profinet. These are the kind of protocols that live in OT environments. We can really interact with those, and we can protect any vulnerabilities in these protocols. What we also do is detect devices, and with those two things combined, we can actually apply virtual patching to your devices that you can't physically patch yourself. If you don't have a maintenance window to patch your PLCs or your IEDs or your RTUs, you can actually apply this patching on a network level by using our intrusion prevention system. Now, quickly, ecosystem, that's our fabric-ready partners. There's some of them in the room here, for example, Armis, who are specialized really in everything that's around visibility on your OT network. And of course, yeah, there's integrators like the one that's hosting us today. Now, coming to Universal SASE. Why are we going to look beyond what we are currently offering? And why are we looking beyond the perimeter of OT, let's say, factories or whatever site you have in your organization? I wanted to show you some quotes from CISOs that we hear every day. There's new things popping up in the market. For example, if you're in manufacturing, you might have seen the new MES platforms, manufacturing execution systems that are being delivered from the cloud. You can go to General Electric, to Schneider, and you can actually buy a SaaS platform for your manufacturing execution system. As I said in the beginning, you need contractor control, you need control of your own users when they are outside of the environment, making sure that they are still safe when they come back into your environment. So, and then there's the major use case, of course, that's everything around sensor management and the remote monitoring. How do I safely get this sensor data out of my environment, get it processed somewhere, and then get it safely and controlled and being sure that my data is unaltered? How do I get it back into my environment to use it to improve my processes? Those are really the use cases that we see in the market today that are happening on the cloud side. So what do we position as Fortinet here as a solution for this? It's adding Unified SASE on top of what you already have. And what is Unified SASE? I think in a nutshell, it's cloud-delivered security. Everything I've said before, it's delivered from a cloud service to you, managed by us, hosted by us, delivered to you. And it consists of firewall as a service. It consists of CASB, a cloud access service broker, where you control the connections towards SaaS applications. It consists of a secure web gateway to secure your users when they are browsing the internet. And it consists of ZTNA and digital experience monitoring as well. Because now we've deployed a platform, we can see the start of a connection until the application. We control the whole process and we can really show you how the digital experience of your users is happening. Now that's a lot of information, I know that, but if you need to remember one thing about this slide is that on the left for you, you have all of your devices, your users, wherever they are, your applications on the other side, wherever they are, again, if they are in your local data center, if you host them on a SaaS platform, if they are fully SaaS, where you don't have any control over them, we can cover all of those use cases, and we can attach that on top of your existing SD-WAN infrastructure. That's a really important point. And that's the point that I really want to emphasize here. How does a typical road from SD-WAN to SASE run for a company, for a distributed company, let's say? We explained that we have an SD-WAN infrastructure in place. You can build this with your FortiGates. It's a built-in capability of your FortiGates. You interconnect all of those sites. I explained you the green block, which is our FortiGuard services. You have secured between IT and OT on all of these sites. So what happens next? Maybe you add some SaaS platform. And to secure that, you actually add on top of your existing SD-WAN infrastructure, you add a POP, a point of presence, which is actually one of the hosted data centers that we have. It's a Fortinet-owned POP that you can add into your SD-WAN infrastructure. So it's really as if it was a branch in your own network. That's how it behaves. A lot of complicated arrows popping up suddenly as well. So you have your staff running around from here to there. You have your contractors where you don't really know where they are. They might be physically inside your organization or your plant. They might be working from home or from their own office. And then you have your control vendors that are another party in this complex framework who have to manage your physical devices in your OT environment. And then maybe you went to your favorite integrator mobile. You asked for a mobile private network to interconnect all of your small sites somewhere in the field where you have one sensor running. We can cover all of these use cases. And I'll build them up. Let's say you need access from your plant and something privately hosted in your own data center combined with a SaaS application. That's one use case. The next use case is your contractor access. How are they going to connect either to your SaaS application, where the remote monitoring data is being treated, or to the actual place where the physical device is that is the result of all of these operational improvements. They will need access to both sides. And they can do this by connecting into one of the branches of our SASE platform. And then the third use case is what I explained. You have these sensors somewhere in the field, and maybe you want just a small device there. You don't have a full infrastructure on that little site. It's not a proper factory, it's just a small site. You just put an extender device there, or maybe a Wi-Fi access point, and you can backhaul all the traffic straight to SASE and do your security there. So those are some really interesting use cases that we can cover with our SASE platform on top of what we already do with SDWAN, with secure SDWAN, with OT security services on top. Now, to conclude, for my part, what makes it so unique, the solution that we have? I believe that's really that we offer you from the beginning of your journey until the end. We can build on our FortiGate and extended secure networking platform. You have a FortiGate in place on your local environment. You can use that same device to build an SD-WAN. And as a next step, you can use that same device as a POP, basically, in your SASE platform. So it's really the strength of what we do is we build all of these things on the same operating system. So whichever device you have, it's built on the same operating system. You can secure, you can really manage it from the same console as well. That's another important point, unified management plane. And the same thing goes for managing events. You have an analytics engine. Basically, you have one big data lake where everything ends up. We host it for you, and that's where the events can be treated. And then the last point is we also, for devices that support clients, we have a unified client. Talking about OT, not all devices are going to support clients. I'm very aware of that fact. But for all of those devices that do support clients, we can provide zero trust network access for them. We can provide the CASB technology, the digital experience monitoring. These are all things that we can provide from the same client. No more 10 clients on your devices, just one client for all of this. And as a next step, actually, we are working on also integrating, for example, our EDR agent into the same client. That's really the strategy that we want to follow. Integrate as much as possible, so you as a customer can really provide with the least amount of infrastructure, can provide the best security as close as possible to the device. And that's really an important point. Some of our competitors backhaul all of the traffic all the way up into the cloud, process it there. We can provide the same level of security also on your local site. We live in a hybrid world. You still have that local need, those local devices that need security as close as possible to where the threat is.
Proximus next. Think possible.